there you are. Hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and it is Friday evening, which means it's time to smile a little. Today, at lunchtime, for those of you who missed it, we did a broadcast on our skills section about drama. And I just want to give Jody a bit of credit here because I came up with the thumbnail for tonight's broadcast with the llama. And it was so cute because Jody said, how about that? You've got a drama llama. So I absolutely love that. Thank you, Jody. Mission accomplished. And for those of you who might be watching for the first time, what we do is every week we find a topic to talk about, and we talk about it in terms of the skill around it. We talk about it in terms of some of the humor around it. And then on Sunday, we will try and find some nice thoughts around it. So hope that you enjoy this. Please feel free to participate if you choose to. If you're new, I may ask and double check whether it's okay to talk about it publicly. And the reason for that is because you may or may not know that we leave it up on YouTube for people to be able to catch the replay. And if you are new, sometimes that can be a little bit of an issue if you don't know that. So that's the good thing. Please make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook particularly, hi there, Jody. Facebook particularly because on Facebook what we do is we sort of update people. For example, some of the things we've updated this week are that Lauren, our viewer from Tasmania, is going to be starting university on Monday. And we're very excited for her. Actually on the 24th, is that Monday? Where are we now? Yeah. Anyway, so we're very excited for her, and she's getting, all prepped up, and she's doing it from home. For those of you who might not know, Lauren is wheelchair bound, and so she's going to be doing it on a home-based type learning, which is awesome. We're very excited for her. Beth, if she comes in, hopefully will give us an update on her daughter, who you will remember had a chemical accident, something blew up in her face. And I haven't heard any more this week. If anybody else has, let me know. Nana advised us that, yes, she does need to have eye surgery, but she's on the wait list and it'll take about a year before she can have it. I think it becomes an elective thing here in Canada. And so you have to sort of wait in line. And then no news from Kimmy this week so far. Maybe she'll join the broadcast and update us in terms of her husband. Charlotte came in at lunchtime, and I know she's doing a half marathon in March. And Jody, if you could make a note, I just need to check with Charlotte as to when the half marathon is. And the reason I'm smiling is because when I first met Charlotte, I think to ask her to walk the block would have been a challenge. And now she's busy into half marathons. And I do know coming up in March, we've got Sharon's birthday. I think it's on the 12th. So just we'll try and keep you updated on all those things. We're like an extended family of people. And we actually do care about one another, sometimes more than others. Life gets in everybody's way every now and then. But generally, we are pretty caring and we like to follow up with people. So the drama today, the quote you're going to hear, thanks to Jody. Hi, Jonas, good to see you again. Because she's been working really hard to find some fun ones for you that I hope you will enjoy. And we will talk a bit in between. If any of you have got any drama going on that we can help with, just let me know so that we can sort of, do some follow-up on it as well. All right, so let me start off by just hang on, getting the screens right would be a good start. So just bear with me a second. Sometimes I have to make two screens work at the same time. It's like talking and chewing gum at the same time. Very rude, but forgive me, please. Nearly there. And unfortunately, I can't do it until I'm actually live, which always frustrates me. I'll get over it. So I'm hoping that you've enjoyed some of the vlogs for the week. And for those of you who don't know, we do 3 broadcasts a week, but I also try and do a number of vlogs. And if you are interested in learning, what we do is we sort of live our lessons through what's happening with me during the week. And I try to demonstrate, that we've all got the same stuff going on, really. We've all got stress. We've all got things that don't go the way they should and all those sort of things. And the interesting thing is, it's how we choose to deal with them that is important. Okay, there goes the pop-out chat. That will help me a great deal. Yay. All right, just hold on 1 second. All right, so we'll put that on one side. And then I'll get the quotes, and then we can go. Sounds good. We're nearly there. All right, so the first quote that we have that Jody managed to find, for those of you who don't know, Jody is our admin, does a great job and loves to get the quotes for us. So I thank you for that, Jody. All right, so here's the first one she found, and I love this one. Remember, it's Friday evening, so we're going to smile a bit at some of these. I don't hold grudges. I hold memories that I hold memories that keep me better prepared for our next encounter. See, you don't hold grudges, you just hold memories. How many of you know that feeling? Yeah, it's not that I have a grudge against you, I just don't forget very easily. All right. And how many of you had reason to want to say this and perhaps didn't? Congratulations on your ability to create drama out of absolutely nothing. And for those of you who've been following my story about the moving bill, I did pay it today. I thought I'd let you know so that you can understand. One of the things that I was talking about at lunchtime, we were talking about the triggers, the triangles, and the yes buts. And one of the things was that I don't like to, create the triangle. So I like to deal with things one-on-one rather than, sort of vicariously through a third person. So it was so funny. What I had done is said to them, I wasn't happy with the bill, obviously. It was nearly 3 times what they quoted me. But what I also did was I had it in my mind that if they brought the bill down below a certain figure, I'd pay it. You see, that was an important thing because guess what? They wrote to me today and they suggested a price that was below that figure. And I immediately wrote back and said, done, put it through. You have my credit card information, put it through. End of story. No more drama. Did I think that I paid too much? Probably a little bit, but I also understand that they had to make money too. And I like to pride myself of having a little bit of integrity. So that was like, okay, fine. They came down, quite a bit, and I'll accept that and move on. No more drama. You see, sometimes you just have to finish it to stop the drama. People who claim they are sick of the drama crack me up. They caused and keep causing the drama, so are they sick of themselves? Nice one, Jody. How many of you, know people that just, it was really strange. My aunt was big into drama, as was my mother, I think, a little bit. But, my aunt also was one of those people where she didn't really seem to be happy unless she was complaining about something. Do any of you know people like that? It was just like, my mom used to call it strength through misery. But bless her heart, and I absolutely adored her. Hi, Razan. Don't I get tired of standing? Actually, I much prefer it, Razan. It's funny that I've never thought to do it before. But if you think about it, I know that you can't because of the wheelchair thing, but I find that it helps me move a bit more instead of just sitting like a slug for 2 hours in a bad posture. And by the way, for those of you who've tried my trick about if you're going to go out for a walk, put one hand behind you in what I call the Prince Philip walk. If you looked at any pictures of Prince Philip, whenever he walked with the Queen, he always had one hand at his lower back. And, I found out why. It forces you to stand up straight. I thought it was incredible. Roseanne, so the answer is no, I don't get tired of standing. I actually enjoy it. And it also helps me sort of move. And I don't know if you noticed, every now and then I will move back like this, and then I will stretch a bit because I can. So it's like a mini exercise program for me. But thank you for caring, as usual, Roseanne. I appreciate that. Let us know how you're doing. Is it my imagination, or is that thing flickering? And if so, why? Oh, well, never mind. Yeah. So I like this one. This one I thought, how many of you can't wait to use this one? They do make medication for the way that you act. There have been a couple of people that I would like to have said that to, but I haven't. Now, understand that all these are tongue-in-cheek, and they're not meant to be rude to anybody who's got drama going on in their life. This is just like, we did a lot of learning at lunchtime, I can tell you that. And so this is just putting a fun slant on it a little bit. All right, so how about this one? I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge whatever dramatic crisis you appear to be imagining today. How many of you agree that a lot of our drama is self-inflicted? We actually put it on ourselves. We put off doing things until the last moment, and therefore it's a crisis. I found it quite interesting today that I was getting a little bit frustrated because I have lost my ionic cleaner for my CPAC machine, the Darth Vader mask. I lost my sewing kit, which I always have next to the bed in case of an emergency. And also, I could not find my tools that were the last things to leave my previous home. For those of you who don't know, I just moved into this house. And the reason I can't find anything is because they're all in boxes. But what I decided, what works really well for me and stops the drama for me, is something really quite simple. And I thought I'd just show you. You see, I just write down a list of things I need to do. And for example, one of them is find the ion cleaner, right? And then I leave it. And but every day I look at it and I go, what one step can I get closer to that? And I'll think, well, let me try. And, today my one step was to look under the futon. All right. And it's not there. I checked. And then, find the tools. Well, it was really funny because the very first thing on the list was one box from the craft room. So I lifted up the first box that I thought I would start tomorrow, and I dug in it, and guess what's at the bottom of it? The tools I've been looking for. And I went, oh, that works. A twofer. Not only did I move the box ready to unpack it, but also I found the tools. And then I said to myself, where was the sewing kit? And it was in a cubie in my bedroom. And the question was, have you checked all the cubies? Because maybe the cubie is no longer in your bedroom because of the way you set up the house. And I started to check cubies, and the third one, guess what I found? The sewing stuff, the pins and needles and thread and everything else. So, but can you see that because I do it that way, it reduces the drama? Because every day I'm trying something else. I'm not complaining about it. I just keep looking one more place. And I know eventually I'll find it. It may. And it was so funny for those of you who can understand this. I was outside today bringing in the groceries, and a couple were walking past my place. And the woman said to me, are you settled in yet? And I looked at her and I said, the boxes are. And I said, maybe you'd like to come back in a year and ask me that question again, because by then I might be able to say yes. How many of you can relate to that? Some of these boxes are going to take me a year to unpack it, if ever, And the only way I can get them out of the house is to unpack something in the storage sheds, So that's why they're in the house, because they will upset me. And by the way, I have started my first large donation box. Things I'm going, something, I don't think I want to keep that any longer. I'm just putting it in a donation box. Sure, I could sell it all, or I could just donate it and get rid of it. Which one is least drama? Think about that. All right? It's just like, think about what is going to cause you the least drama. All right, so now then, what's the next quote that Jody found for us? Hey, I found your nose. It was stuck in my business. Good one, Jody. Yeah. I just read that one. I went, yep. There have been a couple of times I would have liked to have said that one, especially when people tell me what I have to do. They'll see a vlog, and then they're so quick to tell me what I have to do. I'm going, yeah, right. I think I need to do what I want to do, not what you tell me to do. And this is a very true quote. Jody found this one. It was, remember when people had diaries and they got mad when someone read them? Now we put everything online and we get mad when people don't read them. It's like, I can remember the first person who said, and I said, I haven't heard from you a while. What are you up to? And I remember him saying, just read my blog. Well, first of all, I didn't know what a blog was. And I said, and then I found out what a blog was. And then I went, oh, so I don't get a private letter anymore. Now I have to read the public version. And, I was quite upset. Okay, hi, Beth. Good to see you. And Beth, we wondered whether there's any update on Victoria. And if there is, great. By the way, I was seeing something, Beth said it was a quiet day at work today. She only did 15,000 steps. I'm going, apparently, if you want to lose weight, work at Dollar General, and work as hard as Beth does. And talking about that, we were discussing this at lunchtime as well. I have now lost 15 pounds since January. And all thanks to everybody that supported me, knowing that that's what I'm trying to do. I really want to thank you all, because it, basically, once you learn what to do and you do it, guess what? The pounds fall off. This is the truth. Not rocket science, right? They just fall off, and it is amazing. So, and also the blood sugar drops as well. And everything seems to work that much better. Hi, Amelia. Good to see you. Welcome. And just if you can, Amelia, let us know roughly where you're from, just so that everybody can relate to you. You don't have to say exactly where, but are you in the US? And if so, which state? It's big enough. That would be awesome. If you can give us a decade of age, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, or in my case, the 70s, that, will help us sort of just get you in the right mind frame in our minds as well. So welcome. And thank you for joining in. We love it. So now then, some people create their own storms and then get upset when it rains. Met any of those people? People who just don't bother to do their taxes, for example. And they get angry when they get fined. Some people who don't stop at the stop sign and get angry when they get a ticket. Or I remember one of my sons phoning me once and being absolutely so upset, so dramatic. And I said, what on earth's wrong? And he said, I can't believe it. I only parked my car in a no parking zone for 10 minutes and they gave me a ticket. And I said, let me see if I got that right. You parked your car in a non-parking place. Yeah, but only for 10 minutes. I said, that you parked your car in a no parking place, right? And paid the price. You took a gamble and you lost. Do not go to the casino, do not collect $200. So, end of story. I don't want to discuss it anymore. You parked in a no parking zone and got caught. End of story. It's not about fair or unfair. You knew what you were doing. You just upset because you got caught at it. All right, so Beth is saying Victoria's doing much better. Someone else got a chemical burn today. It went all the way to the bone. Victoria was lucky. Yes, I've had a burn all the way to the bone, right? And believe you me, that's not fun. Actually, in a way, it was surprisingly strange. The burn was so bad I couldn't feel it. Do any of you know what I'm talking about? I think they used to talk about that in the war sometimes, that people, when the burn is so bad, your brain sometimes just cuts out. I don't know what happened. I should have been in excruciating pain. And, people kept saying, aren't you in pain? And I said, not really, I mean, yes, it wasn't very pleasant, but I couldn't say I was in excruciating pain. And I was busy watching my bones and my ligaments, and they're going, but you can see into your hand. I said, yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? Now, this next quote, I think, is the ultimate put down, if anybody ever is looking for one. I told my therapist about you. So I think, it's really important for us to see the humor of these things, because I like the fact that they actually are going to a therapist and trying to sort their stuff out. That is one of them, I think one of the greatest jokes of all time is that 90% of the stuff that people go to therapists for is their stuff, not somebody else's. And, therapists must get so tired of turning that one around so people can see that in a pleasant way. It's just like, of course, I can remember, have any of you ever gone to a 12-step program? And I've got to talk to you about that, because at one point in my life, I realized I was getting a bit overwhelmed with enabling people. And so I went to a 12-step program for that. And the first topic they brought up, I went, oh, I'm good at that. And and they were not very happy with me. And then they come up with the next subject and I go, yep, one of my strong points, that one. And, whatever they came up with, I was owning it because, it was true of me. And, at the end of the first session that I was there, the guy came up to me and he said, this is not meant to be a funny group. I said, I wasn't aware that that was a problem. And he said, well, you make fun of everything. I said, no, I own everything. There's a difference. You tell me that this is enabling. And I go, oh, yeah, I do that. That's called ownership. So if you can't see that, you may want to think again, right? Do you understand? He was trying to create, and by the way, I'm pretty good at laughing at myself because I think I'm pretty funny. I have never claimed to be perfect. I just claim to be a human being. And therefore, if I go to something like, by the way, I lasted about 3 sessions before they all but threw me out because I was too happy. I was just like, really? Go figure. I was talking today about my Fitbit watch having, clever things in it. For any of you who've got one, did you know that you can just take a picture of the barcode and it'll get all the nutritional information for you? You don't have to go looking for it. you know, I was, I did a bit of a test today. What was I doing? Yeah, Jeannie sent me these incredible, if you ever find these, they are awesome. They're called Newman's Own Original Mints. They're ginger mints, sorry. And I'm going, I wonder if Fitbit recognizes them. So I got into my Fitbit program that I've had for yonks. And you see, it's got this little barcode thing here. You just press the barcode and then you bring it so it can read the barcode. And when it can, it turns green, and then it tells me minced ginger, Newman's Own, serving size 3, 10 calories. And then I can press that. It has 2 grams of carbs and 2 grams of sugar. Yep. It also, if it had any of the other things, it would tell me. By the way, really, really, way cool, Jody. Way, way cool. You know me, I've been going around going, does it recognize the nuts? And what else did I find today? Oh, Pure. Hang on a second. They have now made, I'm not getting paid for this, people, aspartame-free spearmint gum. Yeah, I would think that any ginger mints would work with nausea, yes. But I also would like to say that they probably aren't cheap. So I was wondering, you know me, Jody, I was already been trying to work out, how would I make those? So if you find a recipe for making them, let me know what it is. Anyway, so Pure Gum now make these really nice spearmint little mints, chewing gum mints. And they, as far as I remember, it was one of the things I scanned, but do you think I can remember what it was? Hang on. Let me get my scanner going, because it's such fun. Don't tell me you didn't find it. You didn't read it properly, you silly shit. Okay. We're having a little moment now. Scan another barcode. Oops. Sugar-free gum, spearmint gum, 2 of them, 10 calories, 2 carbs. That's it. 2 grams of carbs. So anyway, I just thought I'd let you guys, if any of you have, the taste doesn't last long, but I love them. Yeah, I had a couple today. And I went, those are actually really quite nice. So, yeah, the Pure Mints. Yeah. So, oh, Pure Gum. I tell you, bit by bit, we will work all of this out. And by the way, I keep passing on the information because 15 pounds in 6 weeks is pretty good, you know, for somebody that isn't into dieting. Oh, you live in Nevada and you're in your 30s. Okay, Amelia, good to know. All right. How about this quote? Arguing with idiots is like playing chess with a pigeon. No matter how good you are, the bird is still going to poop on the board and strut around like it won anyway. Do you know people like that? Yep. I like that. If you've learned one thing since joining Facebook, it's that I'm not nearly, if I've learned one thing since joining Facebook, it's that I'm not nearly as messed up as I thought I was. How many of you have discovered that as well? You're going, you know something, I used to think I had a problem. By comparison, I'm doing not too bad. Thank you. And how about stop global whining? Oh, Lord. And this one is a very wise quote, I think, Jody. And thank you for finding it. And it says, "For those of you who like to stir the pot, you should know what you're cooking before you get burned." Yeah, don't mess with the wrong people. As somebody found out with me this week, right? Somebody thought I was going to be a pushover, and I ended up putting the phone down rather than have them manipulate me. I object to being manipulated. It upsets me. All right, here you go. Nutritional facts. Listen up now, Isabel. If you drink a gallon of water per day, you won't have time for other people's drama because you'll be too busy going to the washroom. Stay hydrated, my friends. Yeah. Oh, yeah, isn't that the truth? Thank you, Jody. And the one that Kerry always uses, not my circus, not my monkeys. It's somebody else's stuff, really. um, how about please cancel my subscription to your issues. Now, I don't want to say, and I said this at lunchtime, there is a vast difference between supporting somebody who's in crisis and drama. Drama is somebody that just, we had the perfect quote on it today. Hang on a second, let me just find it, because I think I kept it ready if I was smart. Hang on. Hang on one second. Yes. How about this one? I love this one. If you bring nothing but drama to the table, don't be surprised if everybody gets up and leaves. Right? And that's true. If all you ever do is complain and about things, don't expect people to enjoy talking to you. Right? Because who wants that? Yeah, Jody, when I saw, not my circus, not my monkeys, I went, that's Kerry. That's her favorite one. All right, how about this one? You don't like drama? Funny. Your name seems to come up as the executive producer on every single episode around you. But that's what we were talking about at lunchtime, which is how often we create our own drama. All right. Or we allow other people, we get sucked into other people's drama. And what I wanted to do at lunchtime is to give people some tools how to circumvent that, how to keep away from getting sucked into other people's drama. It's interesting. How about this one? It said, if I give you a straw, will you go and suck the fun out of somebody else's day? Because isn't that true, though? If you're having a good day, a really good, you're having lots of fun, and the phone rings and you pick it up, and then here is the drama person, and you're going, and you feel duty bound to listen to them, but it's just going to drain you. However, I like this next one because it is true of a lot of us who understand the value of a quick vent. A quick vent, as I said at lunchtime, is very different from being a whiner. A quick vent is something just really upset me. I need to talk about it to get it out of my head and stop festering it. I just need to, I just need somebody to listen. I don't want it fixed. I just want somebody to listen how angry I am about this. And here's the great quote, I'll get over it. I just got to be dramatic first. Isn't that the truth? That's what a vent is, right? I don't intend to hold on to this. I just need to get the words out because otherwise they'll stay in, and I don't want them to stay in because they control me then. um, see, and now here's another one like this. It's like, okay, I'll play. What self-created drama are you whining about now? Do you know anybody who just week after week they're doing nothing but whining about something? And in fact, the only time you hear from them is when they're complaining about something. And if so, be aware. It drains you. Okay. Now, this, I think, Jody, was one of my favorites of the whole stack. And I thought it was so clever. It said, more issues than Vogue, the magazine, right? Now, I've never said that about anybody, but I thought that was so clever. The person's got more issues than Vogue. I can remember somebody once saying to me, and I thought it was very fair, which is, everybody has a good reason for doing what they do. We know that. But I was watching somebody do something really strange. And I said, do you think they're okay? And the person sitting next to me and said, no, I don't. I think they're damaged in some way. And I thought that was so cute, damaged in some way. Nyasha saying, I'm taken back to the episode that happened with a previous boss. And Mama Sal, I am a person who likes to rub things into other people's faces, meaning to tell the other person what they did to me. And we'll wait for the rest of that sentence. How about this one? And how they hurt me. Is that drama that you're creating? Yeah. If so, you'll stop. Good. Stop right now. The answer is yes. They already know what they're doing. All right. All right. And if you fight them back, they're just going to fight you back and it's going to get worse. So, the thing to do is just say thank you for your opinion. Right? I thank you. That's what I do with haters. When I get haters on the website every now and then, Yasha, and I could tell them that they're talking turkey, but what I do is I say thank you for taking the time to let me know that. Because if I say anything else, then I give them strength. I don't want to give them strength. I want them to go, huh? That was meant to upset her. How come she was so nice? And one person did that. One person wrote back to me, Nasha, and he said, I can't believe how nicely you answered that when I was so rude. I have great respect for you. And I thought, +1. So you see, if you don't let it in, if you don't let it affect you, then you can just say thank you for your input. Because inside you can think whatever you like. Yeah, let it go. It's that person is not going to change. That person is going to carry on that sort of behavior, and it's not for you to change them. They got to learn some skills to be able to change that. Yeah. So you got out of the job. That's the main thing. How about this one? I don't run from my problems. I sit on my sofa and I play on my phone and ignore them like any adult. Anybody relate to that one? What do you do to distract yourself away from somebody that's upset you? I'm really quite scared because tomorrow the man will come to put up this new television with Roku. Roku? Is that how it's pronounced? I have no idea. I've unpacked the television. It's all ready. And I was saying today, it's really amazing because, thank goodness that the television companies have realized that unless they start streaming the stuff we want to watch that we are watching on our computers, we won't need televisions anymore. We'll just get better computers. And they realize that now, which is why they're putting the things like Roku onto television sets. And I'm going, any minute now, I'm going to be in big trouble. because I'm a binge watcher. I started watching something last night. Yeah, have any of you binge watched anything recently? It was something with it was a takeoff of an Australian program, but you whether you put together, you give people a chance to meet each other, but you don't get to see them. And they get to chat each other up, but you don't get to get influenced by the way they look or what race they are or anything like that. You just get to talk to them. And, I think I was 6 episodes in before I went, I do need to go to bed now. I've got a busy day tomorrow. So I know when I get this streaming stuff, I'm going to be in big trouble on the big screen, bigger screen by an inch. And this one, Jody, I don't know how you kept a straight face when you posted it, but I wonder if you even did. Some people should use a glue stick instead of chapstick. And then, did you also think, as I did, Jody, and some should use instant glue? And then, you didn't keep a straight face. No, I can imagine, and you knew I wouldn't be able to either, Jody, because you know my sense of humor. And I just went, yeah, glue stick's good, but for some people, I think instant glue would be much better. And so here's the next one. You play the victim so well. I'm surprised you don't carry around your own body chalk. How many of you know that when they find a body, they trace around it, Yeah, some people do play the victim incredibly well. Oh, that's small, Jody. Did you really think I was going to be able to see that? Hang on 1 second. Wait a minute. I can see you're upset. Maybe you should post more about it on Facebook. That should help eliminate any drama. I'm amazed what some people, put up on Facebook. I'm going, do they realize that your boss is reading that? Do they realize that, that people you work with are reading that? Do they realize that people that may want to employ you next week are reading that? I'm retired. I don't really care. How about this one? There are no parades for drama queens, so stop being one. Again, I have to admit there have been 1 or 2 people in my life I would love to have said this to. I don't think I meet the height requirement for your ride of your emotional roller coaster. Mind you, I've been that person too. How many of you can relate that you've been the drama queen? Believe me, I did this one well. I did it really well over some guy that dumped me. I did it for a long time too. I just kept asking that stupid question, why? Why didn't I see it coming? Why didn't I know? Why? And it took me years to realize my problem was I kept asking why when it didn't really matter. It just happened. And getting the answer to why was not going to change a damn thing. so now I just go, if I hear myself going why, I go safe sometimes, so I'll just move on. Because that's what men do. Have you noticed that? Men don't hold on to it, they just move on. It's amazing. Women, no, we got to analyze it to death first. We've got to analyze it and kill it, and then resuscitate it, and then kill it again, and then resuscitate it, and then we'll kill it again. Now, do we really like that much torture? And I always keep thinking, I think that's called masochism, isn't it? When you intentionally hurt yourself. It's like, really? All right, so this one's pretty, what will I say? This one is wise above all else. If there seems to be drama wherever you go, consider the fact that you might be the one bringing it. Fair enough? If there appears to be drama everywhere, then you're probably the reason for it. And then this one definitely is like, whoa, easy now. You almost got some of your drama on me, and I really, I don't want it. Yeah, and then here we go. All right, so this one, drama, you say you hate it. So why do you create it? You say you don't need it, yet you continue to feed it. Yeah, can I ask you guys, when somebody starts to, how about that one? What do you do when somebody starts to gossip about another person? Creating drama. Did you know what so-and-so did? Da, 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 da. I say to them, they talk very nicely of you too. What? And I said, well, you're talking behind this person's back, and I thought I'd just let you know they talk very nicely about you. Oh. It normally stops them quite quickly. The other thing I found out being a boss for many years was if you want to stop the rumor mill, if ever you hear the words, well, it's being said that, and I used to just look them straight in the face and say, who is saying that? Oh, I can't tell you. Well, come back to me when you can. Because if you can't tell me, it's a rumor, and I don't deal in rumors. True? I find that yeah, Jody, it does actually. It's amazing how that makes people think. And I just go, gosh, they speak so highly of you, and yet I don't say, and yet you're busy dissing them. But it does make them think. It goes both ways. That stuff. And this quote, of course, is delightful. It was, is your trauma going to have an intermission soon? Because I really need to pee. All right, so I've got some quotes that are probably not funny, but there are more that hopefully some of you like. It seems to me that most people are either sadists, means they like to hurt other people, or masochists, they like to hurt themselves. Not entirely in a sexual sense, but psychologically. They thrive on drama, creating it, or just being involved. Not me. Some people find happiness in their life unless they're creating drama. Oh, some people can't find happiness. Remember what I said about my aunt, strength through misery? Anyway, some people can't find happiness in their life unless they're creating drama. And that is D as in drawing, R as in ridiculous, A as in attention, and M as in making an A of yourself. Yeah, isn't that the truth? And that's what, I'm certain a lot of people, I look back now at some of the drama that I used to create and perpetuate and feed, and now going, some adults must have just rolled their eyes and thought, how did this person get so far with that mentality? And I'm just glad that I don't tolerate it as well as I used to. And I did tolerate it a lot. So real people avoid drama. They know their time is too precious and choose not to waste it on unimportant people. There's a judgment for you. So how many of you think that drama queens, it's all about attention? They want the attention. And, we were talking about the yes button. If ever you hear somebody, ask for your input on something, and then you hear them say, yes, but know that is the red flag. Right? The yes, but means I am about to try and manipulate you into my way of thinking. And to which you go, no, no, yes, buts. You asked for my opinion and I've given it. End of story. How about this one? I predict she'll create her usual drama, cause needless chaos, thrive on the attention, whilst wearing her well-worn mask of self-pity, and then make insincere apologies. Until the next time. I've met those people. I hope I haven't been those people. There are some people who always seem angry and continuously look for conflict. Walk away. The battle they are fighting isn't with you, it is with themselves. You know that story I told about the conversation I had with Benji, or I asked for some input from Benji. The truth was, it was so simple. He gave me his opinion. I already had thought both those points that he mentioned through, and therefore I just went, okay, that's all I need. He didn't come up with anything that I hadn't thought of. Move on. You're more than capable of making this decision. Okay, so Beth's saying, I created drama, but usually only to myself. I fight with myself more than anything. An internal drama, girl. God, Beth, I love your honesty. I've always respected your honesty, but that's incredible. I've done it to myself this week, Beth. Would you like me to talk a bit about it? Do you think it would help? And I'm certain that we're not the only ones, Beth. That's why it's a great, I love that you bring up that topic. You starved yourself for attention. Yep. Even though you thought you deserved it, right? Yeah. And it was a call for help. Yeah. And I heard you. If you remember, my words to you were, why are you committing suicide? I think that's what I said to you straight up. And you said, no, I'm just anorexic. Yeah, why are you committing suicide by not eating? It was just like, if you want to die, interesting way to do it. So I really, does anybody else, yeah, I called you a drama queen because you were, right? You were. And the other thing, Beth, I really felt, rightly or wrongly, I really felt you had the courage to tackle the problem. I didn't think you would have come into the Dear Mama Sal group and discussed openly what you were discussing if you didn't want to get it fixed. Quite honestly, I didn't think that was possible. I knew just by the fact you were in the room and were talking that it was a call for help. Okay, so Jody would love to hear my embarrassing examples. Hurt my feelings, but was enlightened. I had to hear it to learn. Yep, exactly. Don't worry, I bogged all over Jody this week. Jody was doing a number this week. She was being a little mother. So she got a 2x4. Well, wrapped in velvet, but she got a 2x4 this week. And you know how I adore Jody. So, okay, so here's the thing. As you all know, I've moved. And so, Beth, just understand, I always love it that, Beth, you and I are at opposite ends of the weight scale, right? You're busy trying to put it on, and I'm trying to lose it. By the way, I am 1 point away from coming out of the obese BMI scale. If I lose another 1.1 point, I will now be overweight on the BMI. So exciting. Okay, so wait a minute. So here it is. I moved into this new place, and which I thought was going to be very friendly, and sort of is if you really work hard. And then I realized I'm in this new place, and my bones are not working as well as they should. I'm having trouble getting up from the futon. It's really difficult for me to get up from there. When I have rotated my hips too much. I wonder if any of you are overweight and know what I'm talking about. I'm starting to feel it in my knees now. And then I'm looking at my house and going, if my situation gets much worse, did I just spend a whole lot of money on someplace I'm not going to be able to walk in by myself? And then I was looking at my shower and going, this shower isn't built for somebody who's got a walker. Beth, you understand what I was doing? Just everywhere I looked, I was seeing the negatives to it and to me. And so what I did was I decided that I needed to stop doing that. But I also know, because I've talked to you guys about that, every one of these things actually is a warning. I just want to see if I can get this light to stop doing what it's doing here. Maybe that will help. But, so I listened to that inner voice. And what I did, Beth, is I just looked at my shower and went, Sal, without completely redoing your shower, how would you get in and out of this if you needed to? Where is the problem? And I looked at it and I went, the problem is the door. If I had a walker or something, I couldn't get into the shower because of the door. It's in the wrong position. And I went, okay, you're smart, Sal. So now then what? If you couldn't afford to redo your shower completely, make it a wall-to-wall shower that you could walk into, what would you do? And it was funny, Beth, because I looked at it and I went, I would remove the door and put in a tension rod, with a clear shower curtain. It's okay, Nyasha, we understand. And I thought, yeah, that would do it. And then I went, okay, now then, about your hips and your knees. The fact you're losing weight is going to help your hips and your knees, right? When they don't have to carry as much weight. So, but on the other hand, you may need to go to some sort of yoga lessons or some sort of therapy to get those muscles that have atrophied back into shape. Now, you do know that I'm walking every day, or nearly every day anyway, and that I'm sure will help. But, maybe I need some massages. Maybe I need to do something. And I will talk to my doctor. I've got to see my doctor soon. So I will talk to him and say, what do you recommend? I'm pretty sure that what's happening is just old age. And I look at, how many of you have seen Ruth Ginsburg? She's nearly 100 and she's busy pumping weights and doing all sorts of things. And so maybe, yes, physical therapy would do wonders for you. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have it covered. I don't have a health plan that covers it. So that would cost me money. But maybe if I went, once a month or something and gave myself that luxury, and where they could. The other thing is this, Beth. One of my goals is to clear enough boxes that I can put my total gym out and start using it. That total gym uses more muscles than anything else I know. All right, it's a brilliant machine for using muscles to do with your legs, your hips, your upper body, everything. So I'm going that the best way I can help myself for free is to make enough room to put the total gym down and start using it, as well as go for the walks. All right, so what else did I say? I was beating up on myself for the shower, for my health conditions. But what were you beating up on yourself about, Beth? If I can ask, you don't have to answer, you know that. Anybody else beating up on themselves, causing their own drama? Can you see that I listen to it because obviously in my mind it's important? Yeah, so Beth is saying you can go, we can go, anybody else that's got the same problem. All right, we can go for a few times and then just take notes and then do it on your own. Yes, I do that with my chiropractor. I always go to my chiropractor and she will give me a sheet and go, do these. So I go, okay, fine. Which I do normally for a week, and then I forget about them. But it's a bit like my total gym, I'll use it for a while because I know I need it. And then when I've got everything working again, and for 20 years I've been doing that. It's like, it's really important. The good news is I bought it, 15 years ago or something when it only cost about $800. Now they cost twice that. All right, so Jody's saying, I had been beating up on myself because my weight had been stalled for so long over December and January. Yeah. So what were you saying? That you weren't doing the right things? That, what was going through your head? Because, what I want to find out is whether when you hear what was in your head, whether it actually was true in some way. In other words, within it, there was the key to how to fix it. Because you understand, when I looked at the shower and went, okay, fine, that's true. I will not be able to manipulate this door if I've got a walker. That is true. I have every reason to have that fear. Right? Now then, let's presume that that does happen. How could you get into that shower without spending a lot of money building a new shower? And I realized, just get rid of the door. You're smart. Get rid of the door. Put up a tension bar with a clear shower curtain. All right. Jody was saying, I was a failure. I wasn't fasting properly. I was indulging too much. Were you a failure? True or not, Jody? Is it true you weren't fasting properly? And was it true that you were indulging too much? See, only you can answer those questions. And while you're answering them, let's get on to Beth's. My greatest problem was my whole life is not being good enough. I have to do it better or faster, or else I won't be noticed or valued. Kind of like a person. Yeah, kind of like I as a person don't matter. I want to tell you, I really relate to this, Beth, because I used to have this disease myself. I was a workaholic because I needed to show people I was better than other people, especially I was better than most of the males, right? Because I was always in a male job before women got those sort of jobs. And I worked myself to a standstill trying to prove that I was better than the average man, when quite honestly, I could have worked half as hard and still proven that. But, it was just like, I had to do that. I got to prove it. And look what it did to my health. Okay, so Jody's saying, no, I'm not a failure. I was fasting, but not enough. And I was indulging in too many carbs to break the stall. Yeah. So you see, the nagging had truth in it, right? That's what I realize now. The nagging voice in the head has truth to it. Yeah, Beth is saying, yep, that's a workaholic. Yep, that's it, workaholic. I was a workaholic. I can remember once, Beth, I was working late at night, maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, when the cleaners came in, and the cleaner came to my office and said, oh, you're still here? Boy, what union do you work for? And I said, what? And he said, what union do you work for that you're working at 9:30 at night? And I said, it's called the Entrepreneurial Union. He said, I've never heard of that. I said, I'm not surprised. What union do you work for that allows you to work 9:30 at night? I don't know why I was, the entrepreneurial. Yeah, so I was a workaholic. I wouldn't do it again, Beth, because, when my health gave out, nobody cared. Nobody cared, right? I did it to impress them, but when I got sick and had to stop work, they just went next. They didn't care. They were just amazed they got that much work out of me in such a short space of time. And by the way, Beth, I used to wonder whether I was doing the work of two people. And the answer is I was, because when I left, they employed two people to do my job. One wasn't capable of doing it. Why? I was working 18 hours a day, minimum, and weekends for free. And how many of you need to hear this incredible quote? Inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. Remember, telephone call started to trigger me, didn't like what it was happening inside me. I stopped the telephone call before it got worse. My control, all right, my choice to continue the drama or stop it. Beth said that my store manager said that I have the reputation of, ask Beth, she'll never say no. On the break, I cried. I have not changed at all in others' eyes. I am a failure. Well, we know that's a lie. No, what you are is you are not superhuman. That's your problem. You are not superwoman when you try to be, but you're not. You work extremely hard and you have an incredible work ethic. So yes, how do you like that you've got this label, ask Beth, she never says no? How many times have I said to you, Beth, you got to start saying no, right? Unless you start saying no, they're always going to phone you. And this whole business about I am going to disconnect my phone and warn them. I just want to tell you, don't try phoning me because I am disconnecting my phone for 24 hours. I've worked 10 days straight. Yeah, just give them the boundary. Right. So I agree with you, Beth. I totally agree. Listen to what Beth says. Not a failure in my eyes, but just others. My work ethic is unique, but I can't change who I am. You can choose to change. The reason I say that, when I first met Yvonne, Beth, and I adore Yvonne, when I first met Yvonne, she was a rageaholic, OCD driven human. I cried just to look at her and the pain she was going through and what she was doing to survive. And, really trying to, bring up, she, a single mom trying to bring up her child. And I just literally, I looked at this and thought, she came with the house, remember, I needed to help, right? She was part of my life now. And she kept saying to me, I can't help being OCD. It's never going to change. I said, actually, it will if you really want it to. And then she said to me, well, I get angry because I can't control it and I never will. Well, you can if you do the work. And so, I look at her today, Beth. I look at her today and I smile. Because the OCD is still there a little bit, but hey, I've got a little bit of OCD. I'm certain everybody here has a little bit of OCD, And but it's not like it used to be where you could not move anything. And then she had a conniption if you moved anything, a hair, she would have a problem. And I look at her ability to keep her anger under control. And I looked at her the other day, and with the tears running out of my eyes, I said, I cannot believe how much you have chosen to change. In the 20 years I have known you, you have moved from this incredibly angry, the only thing you could control was your OCD. That was the reason you had OCD, because it was the one thing you could control was your own actions. You couldn't control anybody else, but you could control this. I said, I totally got it. But, and it was so strange because as I looked at her, I thought, it's amazing how she has changed. And, she's been there to support me when I've been, stuck in a space that is drama driven. She'll, if I'd get into the hamster wheel of emotion, and she'd look at me and go, well, that's fascinating. So, but let me see if I got the facts right. The facts are that this, and this. Am I right? And I go, yeah. And she said, so make a decision. Bye. And she went away. Okay. And she's right, you know. And I thought, and then one day I said, you know, you're so wise, Yvonne. She said, guess who taught me? I said, it must have been a good day. You see, because I have bad days too. I mean, you know, as I keep telling you guys, I am not a superhuman person that has all the answers. I have good days and bad days, which is why I do this. I really did believe that there are too many perfect casters where people pretend that their lives are perfect and they're not. And I said, I really want to share my real life with people so they can see life has its ups and downs and we just got to cope with them. All right, so listen to Beth. Beth saying, in my head, it's like a competition. I need to be the best, win, win. I am not a loser like my mom told me, but I'm going about it wrong. Good. You can see that. I don't need to win to be the best all the time. How many times have you heard me say to you, Beth, excellent is good enough? And those words, you are a loser, you know, are in her head the whole time. I've got news for you. Do you answer those words? You know, because every time you know, the way you desensitize your brain to those words is every time you think them, because you know, the tape is in there, Beth. You know, we've all got these tapes that run, right? But the way you balance them out, it's a bit like blood sugar. You know, if it's sweet, eat meat to balance it. But if, you know, what I found out with those tapes that run through our head, Beth, yeah, it was ingrained into me with a child as well. I understand. But if you listen up, I can tell you how to fix it. Do you want to hear? And I'm saying, do you want to hear? Because maybe you like the drama of it. Okay. So here's what I do, Beth. Remember the shower story? I can't get in there with the walker. That's true. So what are you going to do? So what I do is when I hear the negative, I correct it with a positive. I think that's called cognitive therapy, right? So if the tape that you hear says you are a loser and your mom is saying it, I would practice, Beth, and I would practice it 24/7. You know, Mom, you need to go talk to my regional manager and see whether he agrees with you. Or, you know, Mom, you might want to talk to Charles about this and see whether he agrees with you. Or maybe Victoria and Catherine and see whether they think I'm a loser. You see, Mom, the loser was you projecting your stuff onto me. You were an alcoholic or whatever it was that she suffered from, Beth, and I know you did your best and I love you anyway. But do not pass what you thought about yourself onto me anymore because I've grown up now. I don't listen to it anymore. And you know, you just literally got to talk back to her. And if you do it enough, you will be able to do it so quickly that it doesn't take any space in your head. Do you think that, you know, Beth, does it make any sense that when I looked at some of these things around my new house, I'm going, did I just waste an incredible amount of money buying a house that I might not be able to look after? And and I'm going, okay, you can go there if you want to, so you can feel that if you want to, or you can make sure that that isn't true, that you bought a house that is so pretty. And you know, it will take you a year probably to unpack unless you do, you know, a lot more unpacking every day. But you know, Sal, you did not waste money to buy Sunshine Cottage. How many of you think I wasted money from what you've seen of it? So you know, the same thing, Beth. If you like, the previous owners said they were going to fix something, and they haven't. And I'm going, how am I going to fix that? And you know, I was saying, I think I need to put something in the wall that will hold that up. And I'm going, is there such a thing? You know, and it's funny if you could hear how I talk to myself, Beth. And I'm going, yeah, is there such a thing? And I was thinking about it. And the next thing I unpacked were those funny hooks that you poke into the wall and then they grab onto the back of the wall. And I went, of course, thank you. Perfect. And, you know, I just, you know, it's amazing how everything unfolds as it should. Just about the time I was having this negative discussion, and then I turned it around and went, no, 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 what do you need? You're right. It shouldn't be doing that. But what do you need to stop it doing that until the boys come and fix it? They will come eventually, so. But until they do that, what are you going to use? And I went, yeah, I need those funny grabby things. And there they were right in front of me. I went, oh, thank you. So, Beth, I need you to understand this. And even if you don't understand it today, you will understand this. Because I know you do a lot of work after the broadcasts. Which is, as long as you continue to give your mother control, right? As long as you can continue to give her control, she wins. And you know it's a lie. It might have been true of you as a kid, but you know it's a lie for who you are today. And if I were telling you lies like that, if I said to you, Beth, I'm some sort of loser, would you believe me? And if not, Beth, why not? All right, Beth is saying, I wish I could talk to her adult to adult. Do you think she will hear me? I do believe she hears you, yes. I tried to talk to her. She passed 4 years ago. I feel like it will never be resolved. No, because you keep hanging on to it, Beth. You keep giving her the power to destroy your happiness. Oh, that's an incredible question. Beth saying, I dream that when I pass, she will be waiting for me. Will she love me now? I think she's going to be very proud of you. I really do. I hope that in passing she would have learned some stuff. And now I honestly believe that she's watching you do all that you do, and she's probably crying a bit because she's watching you kill yourself to prove something that you don't need to prove. Yeah, and Jody is saying, Beth, you can talk to her anytime you feel the need. I talked to my mom, and she's been gone for 30 years. Yeah, I still talk to, you know, people were asking me, you know, Valentine's Day was the celebration of the passing of my mom. And I say celebration because every year I turn it into a celebration, not a misery thing. And one of the things I was saying at lunchtime, one of the things that I do, one of the things that was my mom's favorite thing to do was to plant seeds. She loved planting seeds. And so every Valentine's Day, I start to plant seeds. And I talk to her all day. And you know, it was so funny. Let me give an example here. You see, Beth, these are my butter lettuce, I think. Yeah. These are my butter lettuce. And I was busy looking at them and going, you know, I really should plant those out. And I could hear her saying, you do not touch those until they've got 5 leaves. You know, I'm not joking, Beth. She go, you do not touch those until they've got 5 leaves. Then you can plant them out into another container. And I'm going, okay, mummy dearest. So, you know, my mom talks to me all the time. And most of it about my manners, Beth. And by the way, Beth, she is so powerful on that one that I've got people all over the lower mainland here in Canada who, when they lick their plate, go, sorry, Mrs. McLean. You know? Or when they burp at the table or whatever it is, you know, they literally just go. I have people who write to me and they tell me something that they did that was really bad mannered, and they go, your mother was so angry at me. But, you know, I want to give you another great Benjiism. I should start collecting these because I'm certain Benji just doesn't have any idea how brilliant some of his simple statements are. One simple statement I was talking about at lunchtime was this business about losing weight is easy. Eat good food. That's good for you food, not good, mac and cheese. That's good, but no, good for you food. Eat good food and get more exercise, right? And that was fine. But the other thing he said, I forgot. It'll come back to me. And it had to do with weight as well. Oh, I've forgotten it right now. I should have just told the story and not tried to explain what happened at lunchtime. Anyway, he has these incredibly good, simple solutions to things. Because he doesn't get caught up in any of the drama or emotion. He just says, you want to lose weight, eat good food, get more exercise. Not rocket science. It'll drop off. 15 pounds later, is he right? And so you look at these things and you go, Beth, you can carry on torturing yourself with your mom in your head if you want to. I assure you that I had a pretty good tape that was running for me that it was okay for men to abuse me. I don't mind admitting that. I'm part of the Me Too movement, right? And I literally, for the longest time, could hear the nuns saying, turn the other cheek. And so I felt I had to sort of just forgive people and, let them continue. Duh. It wasn't what they meant to teach me, but it's what I heard. And so the interesting thing was that one day I woke up and I just decided, no, that has to stop. I've had enough of that. And the day I decided that that was enough, the next person that did something anywhere close to abuse, I actually took them to the door and opened it. I said, out, don't come back. But Sal, and I go, no, out, don't come back. But what did I do wrong? I said, I told you, please don't do this, this, and this, and you just did it. So therefore, out, don't come back. I think that guy chased me down for 6 months trying to get me to change my mind. But what do I know? He was more interested in his needs than mine. And that was not what I wanted anymore, Beth. So, I listen to these things now and I don't allow them to take up the space. So I think what you heard was your mom calling herself a loser. It was projection or transference of her feeling about herself. And, the chances are, I think if you listen to Nyasha's story, you can hear a bit of that comes out in her story as well. All right? Where they're constantly belittling her and calling her a child. Well, they're calling her a child because they never taught her to grow up. That's their stuff, not hers. And how about this one, Beth? It's amazing how much your life opens up once you stop filling it with meaningless activities and pointless drama. Cut complainers, haters, manipulators, and other negative people out of your life and watch your world expand in every direction. Beth, throw your mum out of your head. She's taking up too much space, and unless she's paying rent up there, say, excuse me, this is my brain. I choose to fill it with good thoughts about myself. So bye-bye. I love you, and I will talk to you when you treat me with respect. You see, the things you couldn't tell her then, Beth, are the things you need to tell her now. And she will shut up a lot more. She'll always be there, trying to needle you a little bit. But, you just need to go, yeah, I used to listen to that shit. Yeah. No, not so much. Nice try. I was saying at lunchtime, Beth, that, my mom, I can remember there was something that happened where, she talked to me like I was a 5-year-old. You know what I mean? Well, I had to do this and I had to do that. And I looked at her and I said, Mom, I don't know how to tell you this, but that used to work so well on me when I was 5. But I don't know if you've noticed, I've grown up. I'm an adult now, and that sort of rubbish doesn't work on me anymore. She gave me the finger, but she burst out laughing. She said, "Pity." So you see, unless you answer your mum back, she's going to continue to take up space. And I'm saying, your choice, Beth. None of us can do it for you. None of us can do it for you. But if you believe that you cannot change it, you're right. You know what I mean? If you believe that you cannot stop that, you're right, because it means you're not doing it. You see, I believe I can stop the negativity about my shower by coming up with plan B, C, D, and E. And also getting somebody in to quote, what if I have a wall-to-wall shower? How much will that cost me? And then do I want to do that rather than redo the roof? Or do that rather than redo the furnace? I got to look at this. They're important things in my life. Do you understand what I'm saying, Beth? Don't give her space anymore. She has dominated your head and your health for too long. It's enough. Beth, did you ever see that movie, Enough? I think it was J-Lo. Brilliant movie, by the way. Anybody else here see that movie? All right, so Beth is saying, I can change it. I need to go on and not be stuck in being a child. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, Beth's seen the movie, Jodie's seen it, right? It's a brilliant movie because it's about a woman who's been abused. And then one day she just says, enough. And then she goes and trains to beat the living daylights out of this guy. She trains with Lou Gossett Jr., I think, right? Anyway, she trains to actually become an unbelievable fighter. And she goes back and he tries to manipulate her because he thinks she's still the person she was. And boy, does he get a lesson. And why did she not go to jail? Because she killed him in the end. Why did she not go to jail? Because obviously he was 6'5" and, whatever it was. Anyway, it was brilliant because she ended up, being free in more ways than one. Yeah, I recommend that movie to anybody who's all in any sort of abusive relationship. Until you decide you've had enough, it's going to carry on. So, Beth, every time you hear it, go, enough, Mom, enough. I've had enough. I've grown up. I don't need to listen to this anymore. Your stuff. I love you dearly. I know you did your best. Wasn't as good as you would have liked or I liked, but you did your best. I know that. I love you anyway. Now, please shut up. Some people, they say, thrive on drama. It's the only thing they have in their life. Throw them away. By the way, Beth, do you ever hear any good things from your mom? Or do you only hear that you're a loser? Think about that. And this one, I can't stand people who just blow everything out of proportion. Stop being the drama queen and get a life. Now, how many of you know that drama queens don't seem to understand that they're creating their own drama? I'm turning this light off because it's flickering too much. That they don't seem to understand that they're creating their own drama. Okay, so Beth is saying in answer to that she only hears the loser. It takes over any positive thinking. Okay, so don't let it do that. Just go, nice try. I'm not letting you spoil my day. Go away. Yeah. If you want to check in with my, district manager, see what he thinks. Bye. Or check in with my new manager, see what they think. Check in with Charles, do what you like, but quite honestly, get out of my head. And the reason she's in it is because you're giving her permission to be there. Enough, Beth. It's enough. You've had enough of it. You will stop working like an idiot when you realize you don't have to prove to anybody that you have good work ethic or you're better than most. We all know that. You don't have to, work yourself like a workaholic to prove it, because we already know. We hear it every day. And with all due respect, Beth, think about this. When you put up, I walked 15,000 steps today, it must have been a quiet day. You want to think about what that says? All right? Is that dramatic? And who is choosing that 15,000 steps is a quiet day? Think about it. So here is the definition of toxic people. They never let things go. They cannot move forward. They bully. They intimidate. They lie. They create drama. They play the victim. They act out of fear and insecurity. Beth, I've had enough of you playing the victim on this one. Grow up. Push her out of the way. Hi, Kez. Good to see you. All right, so Kez is saying, notice that most of the time, drama queens will blame everybody else for the drama happening instead of owning up and staring it down. I quite agree. Oh, owning up to starting it. Yes, I quite agree with you. It's like, but that's the thing that we all need to look at, Kez. The reason I wanted to do this subject is because I think too many of us don't realize we are creating our own drama. If you have a peaceful life, it means that you are not letting the drama in. You're not awfulizing everything, right? You're not making everything horrific. You're just going, hey, Beth, good is good enough. Better is even better than most, and excellent is way better than most. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not. And how many of you have ever bullied anybody? You don't have to answer that, but think about it. How many of you have ever intimidated anybody? Oh, I've done that. Yeah, I've done that. Just with a look. My mommy taught me that. And then, have you ever lied? I have. Have I created drama? Yep, absolutely. When I didn't believe in myself, I did that. Hi, Kimmy. Kimmy, we were asking today, I was saying I haven't heard from you. How's your husband doing, honey? And how are you doing? And have I ever played the victim? Oh, I did that and won Oscars for it in one stage of my life. And have I acted out of fear and insecurity? Yep, I nearly did that this week. So it's not about perfection. It is about, am I working on it? Am I working to do less drama queen stuff? Yeah. Remember that comment about, if the only thing you bring to the table is negativity, don't be surprised if people get up and leave. Yeah, I think, it's really important to understand that. He's doing okay, just has mood swings. It must be difficult for you to deal with the mood swings, Kimmy. So did you get any help? Did you manage to get hold of a counselor or something that can help you, give you tools on how to deal with that? Because I think it's very important that you look after, you did good. I'm so proud of you, Kimmy. That's being very adult, because this is not in your little, when you packed When you packed your suitcase, you didn't have a manual on how to deal with mood swings from somebody who had had a stroke, right? You couldn't have that knowledge unless you'd been through it before. So don't think that you're less than. It's just it wasn't in your manual. When you got your manual for your life, you did not have a chapter on how to deal with um, uninitiated type mood swings. So that's why you need help. Somebody who knows how that happens and knows how to help you not make it more dramatic for them or for you. It's like they say, dealing with people with Alzheimer's, it is not the person, it is the disease, right? It's like, don't blame the person for the fact they keep repeating the same thing 22 times in an hour. It's not them. The disease has eaten up part of their brain, right? And so I think, Kimmy, that this in a way is going to teach you some stuff that you probably needed to learn anyway. So I'm so proud of you, though, for getting the help. Because that takes courage, right? That takes great courage to be able to say, I don't know how to deal with this. I need help. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. And I want you all to know that. And I thank you all. Oh gosh, Nana, I'm sorry to hear that. She's saying that she's at emerge with Rick. What's wrong, Nana? Well, I'm pretty sure you didn't take him to emerge for no reason. So, hi, Sakura. Good to see you, honey. It's Bernice. Sorry. Um, all right. It's up to you whether you let us know. I understand that, Nana. I want to support that. And you must be scared because you've been this route before in a different way. So, how can we support you? He's dizzy and sick, okay? And sick as in upchuck sick or sick as in fever or Penny's is saying, it's all good, Mama Sal. I'm cooking. I'll be a stalker for now. Yeah, we'll put up some prayers again. Jody, please remind me when we finish that I do that before I go to bed tonight. You bet, Nana. It won't be a pleasure to do it, but I will willingly do that. You know the difference of what I'm saying. And has he still got a sense of humor? No, I haven't seen her. You're talking Ali, right? I can't tell you whether she is watching in the shadows or not, but I can tell you she has not talked. So Nana, no, I have no idea. I can only tell you who's talking, not who's in the shadows. Okay. All right, sweetie. So we definitely will put up some thoughts and prayers. And is there anybody that we need to do any? Do you need us to phone somebody, or is there any other way which we can hold your hand? So he's got vertigo, or you do? I could tell you all sorts of things that would create that dizziness and not, feeling sick. And some of them are quite normal things. But, the good thing is you are getting it looked at. He still has a sense of humor. Okay, you tell him. That's a really dramatic way to get some attention. and I love him dearly. And to look after himself, because we're talking about drama today. That's our whole subject for this weekend is drama, and he just created some. Tell him from me, and give him a big hug from me too, please. And also tell him that his windshield wiper story still is top video of mine. How will I ever thank him? Yep. And I know you think I've made millions out of it, but I haven't. But it is still funny that that tip he gave me turned out to end up being a viral video of somewhere. You tell him it's got over 250,000 views now. And a lot of comments about how did I ever put that jug of ammonia on the hood of my car. Did I not know what would happen if it spilled? No, I didn't know. Okay. So I'm hoping that some of you got to laugh a bit about the drama that we create in our own lives. I also hope that some of you can also, after the broadcast at lunchtime today, find some ways to stop the drama coming into your life, and also understand that drama will always be there. All right. For example, what's just happened to Nana, that's not self-created. That's the normal drama. And that's something that, we all need to deal with. We all have these unexpected moments. That is not what we're talking about when we're talking about drama queens. Two totally different things. So good night, Nana. Look after yourself, and you know how to get hold of me. So I look at it and go, if, like Beth, you've got a voice in your head that is constantly telling you that you're no good, or, whatever it is that the voice says, then if you don't control that voice, that means you are enabling it, which means you are helping to perpetuate the drama, means you are not putting a stop to it. If you don't know how to stop it, you need to get help. That's what therapists and counselors are for. And if you find that you've been to a counselor and it's still not stopping, then you need another counselor, because the one you went to didn't give you the tools that you need. That's the way I look at it. But on the other hand, I have to tell you, I've spent a lifetime. Yeah, Kimmy's saying I have, and I fight back now. Yeah, Kimmy, but the point that I want to make is, some of these things that we talk about, I've spent a lifetime trying to find the answers to them. Just never give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself, right? So if you don't protect yourself, who's going to? That's the way I look at it. So when this happened this week, where I felt what was happening to me was wrong, I just went, I don't choose to carry on with this. It is triggering me, and that's not healthy for me. Therefore, I stopped this conversation, and I was polite and said, I hear you calling me names, and I choose not to listen to that. So I'm going to be putting the phone down now. Thank you for the call. Bye-bye. But I immediately emailed and carried on the conversation with factual stuff. All right. And so, I look at it and I go, it's a lifetime battle. Exactly, Kimmy. And, the funny thing is, it's like I liken it to a hurdle race. You sort of run along and then you jump over this hurdle, and then you run along and you jump over the next hurdle. And, it's only as you jump one hurdle that you see the next one. All right. And sometimes you have to have 3 or 4 tries at that next hurdle before you work out how to get over it. And so if you're gentle with yourself and realize you've got the rest of your life to fix this, it's like my unpacking, right? If I got into Beth mode about my unpacking, do you understand? I'd have my box cutter out. I'd probably end up in a merge with cuts all over my hands, or, you know, can cut a vein here or something. I could go into overachiever mode and try and clear it all in a month. I also know, with my sense of humor, I could just leave it exactly as it is and live quite comfortably. And people would be judging me for all the boxes for the rest of my life. There's part of me that goes, so what? The people I care about will just laugh and go, yeah, she decided not to unpack them. I told her not to bring them, but she did. So now she's just not going to unpack them. But I will need things. And as I need things, I'll unpack. You remember, I needed the tools. So I needed to unpack some stuff. I need to find the tools. I need to find my sewing kit. And I did. I got a lot of help from somebody, because I hit 2 for 2 when I went looking. And it was just like, oh, that's good. All right, no problem, Kimmy. We understand that you have to leave for a while. No problem. We're going to be going pretty soon as well. And Jodie's, nagging me for the countdown, because, she's like that. She likes to nag me. And I love her for it, of course. So here we go. For those of you who are in the US, you've got 9 months and 8 days until Thanksgiving. I thought we'd let you know. We Canadians, because we celebrate earlier than you, our Thanksgiving is only 7 months and 23 days away. Maybe start growing turkeys now. Easter is just a month and 20 days away. And spring, just 26 days away. Doesn't mean it won't snow. It just means we're out of the winter. We're now in spring. It has been known to snow in April, so don't get too excited. Daylight savings is just 2 weeks, 1 day away. Think about that. I always think that's a pretty good sign that we're going in the right direction. For those of you who do Lent, and I say do Lent because some of you are more religious than others, so you got 4 days to eat yourself stupid, ready for Lent. And, if you've got anything that you're trying to give up and would like some support, let us know. Mercury is now in retrograde, so anything weird that happens, blame it on Mercury. Now, that's what I always do. By the way, for those of you who've been following my journey, did any of you see the vlog in which I showed you the pop-up desk that I'm getting for my ballroom, as I call it? I've got this area where I sit on the futon and I watch the television. And what I've done is I bought a coffee table where the top of it comes up as a desk. Did any of you see that? because because I'm pretty sure you're going to want to see this. It's not going to come assembled. Good. Oh, I've got it, Kimmy. Okay, so Kimmy's saying when drama starts with her husband because of the mood swings, she leaves. Yeah, I used to do that to my mom. If she started doing weird things like that, I'd just say, I've got to go for a while, Mom. And I'd stay away for an hour until she started to miss me. And then I'd go back. Hi, Nada. Good to see you. So, Jody, that pop-up disc, yeah, the coffee table. Yeah, I managed to get what I call there was a cheap version of it, and then I found a slightly better version. And I decided that I would get the slightly better version because I deserve it. But it's going to come in pieces. Now, how many of you know that when they deliver that box, if they happen to leave it on my doorstep, I do not have the physical strength to bring that box inside my house? Do you all understand that? And so what I thought I would ask you is, could I have a big drama about that? Well, what do I do? I can't even get the box in. And the answer is, I'm going to undo the box outside. Luckily, I got a 29-foot covered deck. So I can just open up that parcel on the deck and bring in piece by piece. That I think I can do. Where are you getting the pop-up coffee table? Where am I getting? I got it online from Home Depot. All right. And by the way, if you look at lift top coffee table, they're all over the place. The one I first liked, I couldn't get because it was in the States and they didn't deliver to Canada, even though I tried to order it. I got all the way to, my address, and then it said it only covered the States, and I went, okay, fine. Why didn't you tell me that at the beginning? Let me just. So, how many of you are going to look forward to seeing how I try to put that together with a bad back? But I found my tools. That's a good start. Are they expensive? I found one for under 200, but the one I bought was I think 300. Where's my phone? I think the one I bought was 300, Kimmy. Let me just see here if I can get the picture of it for you. Okay, I've already taken it off my phone. Okay. Nada, I forgot to mention this, that Nada also has just moved. How is the move going, other than the fact you've got a bladder infection? That is so painful, Nada. Walmart, yes, that's the one I nearly bought, but I then bought another one from Walmart that's around about, well, one night, and maybe it's the same one. I just haven't done the conversion. Hang on a second. Alexa, what is $189 US in Canadian?
189 US dollars is 249 Canadian dollars and 80 cents.
It could be the same one. Kimmy, it could be the same one. All right, so Nada saying she's settling. Thanks. Takes time though, adjusting. Your videos have helped me a lot. I am so glad that my pain has been helping you. I cannot tell you. What particularly helped you, Nada? Oh, whenever I think that's so cute of you. Okay, we'll send up some thoughts and prayers for you tonight as well, please, Jody, for Nada, if she's not feeling too good. And Nada, did you check Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life? I don't think I can tell Alexa how to get that bit of information. But you might want to check. You know what my sense is, Nada, is if it's anything to do with your kidneys, what are you pissed off about? All right, because for some reason that seems to correlate. But if have you started checking Louise Hay on these things, or would you like us to check it for you? Yeah, Kimmy, sometimes it's not possible, but you've got to catch 22, right? If you go back to where you live and the doctors and the hospitals are not quite as good, is that going to cost you more in mental anguish? So maybe halfway. Is there any way that you could be closer, but not necessarily exactly there? Is there a halfway point that you could live where the rents are acceptable? What other choices can we think of, people? And by the way, I want to give a real heads up and congratulations to Jody. You remember that Jody is in a wheelchair and she needs to get special transport to get to her doctor's appointment, and they cut them off under the new plan from a certain president. And she's not quitting. She keeps asking everybody, she keeps making calls all the time. And even though people say, no, we don't know how to help you, she keeps asking, who do you know that might? She keeps asking that question, and she thinks that she may have got a lead where they can help her short term. So, it's wonderful. I'm so proud of you, Jody, for just being so determined to get this fixed. And it's going to take time, but you also know that if you keep after it, somebody is going to listen to you and somebody is going to end up helping you. Just don't quit on yourself. All right. And, I really recommend that Lionel keeps talking about it at church. He needs to just keep saying, we're desperate, don't know what to do. Does anybody have any ideas? Because we're running short of ideas. So Kim is saying, I'd have to sell the house, but the market where I live is bad. The town has many houses for sale. I want to tell you, I sold my house in the worst market that's been seen here in 20 years. I still sold my house. The good news is if you sell in a bad market, you also buy in a bad market, Kimmy. Does that make sense? You see, that's what I kept saying. I'm not only selling in a bad market, but it also affects what I'm going to buy. It's not just one side, it is both sides. So, yeah, so it doesn't make any difference. If the market was high, guess what? Where you need to buy next is going to be high. In a way, it doesn't matter. So, don't use that as your excuse, Kimmy. Just go, if this is what we need, this is what we need to do. Let's cut the emotion out of it and just get on with it. Okay? But find what you want so that you know what you're dealing with, and get, people to help you. Believe you me, it's really important. And get the quote from the mover in writing, and find out if it takes longer, will you be paying 3 times as much? I learned a lot. All right, everybody. So any other news that you can think of that I need to know about, or that we need thoughts and prayers on? Let us know, just so that we can do that after the broadcast. And I just want to thank you all for all the support on the vlogs. I'm glad that you've been enjoying them. You would laugh, I can tell you, but it's going to be in the vlog. But, after the first broadcast, I said, I'm now going to go down to the craft, group, because they meet Mondays and Fridays from 1 to 3. And I literally, closed down the broadcast and quickly did this and that, and then, put on my runners and walked down to the recreational room. And guess what? Mondays, not Mondays and Fridays, just Mondays. It was like, I needed the exercise. Turn the negative into a positive. It was so funny. I'm going, nice try, Sal. But I didn't, I didn't get angry or upset. I just went, oh, I guess I needed the exercise today. And I did. So that was just fine. So big hugs to you all. Thank you for your support. I really do believe that if I can just, I'm trying to now work on 1 box from each room every week. So I just wondered, do you have a choice? I think you can see, how many boxes can you see there? 4. So we have a little quiz, you get to choose which box. Which box would you like me to clear? I've got 1 box from the bedroom ready to go. I've got 1 box from the craft room ready to go. You're going to give me the box here, and then I'm also going to pick one in the studio. That's my task for the week. Okay, how about we number them 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very difficult to do that backwards. Believe you me, that is difficult. 1, One, no, two, you did it. 3 or 4. All right, I have 1 vote for number 1. That one. 1 for 4. That one. Any advance? You have 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3/4. Please vote one of them twice. Half. 1/4. Oh, come on, somebody. Vote one of those numbers twice. Otherwise, I've got to do all 3. No, that's not nice. 1/8. 4. Jody, but you've done that twice. Oh, you're going to change yours to 4. So that is that one. Would you like to know what's in it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you heard me gasp, and the reason I gasped is it was one of the first ones that I packed, Jody. It comes from the corner cupboard. It has mason jars, lids, tops, pasta machine, corn on the cob holders, pasta maker, again, small fondue, a metal trivet, and an apple slicer. Where the am I going to put that lot? Thanks very much for nothing, you guys. But that's the one that's going to go. Another one for number 4. There we go, you see? Here it is. I will mark it number 4 in case you think I'm cheating. Okay? Got it? It's now marked number 4. Okay? And you know what's in it? Well, what would I do without those corn holders right now? You're in the middle of winter, right? I'm just thinking some of them are in boxes. Look at this, look at this. Oh, it's not as bad as I think. Look at this. Yay. You can see. Oh, it's a chicken roaster. And tops. And there you go, Jody. You know me, I've got upmarket ones, Jody. They're not regular corn holders. Okay. My egg slicer. Smaller. This is heavy. So like everything in life, if I just take it out and have a look at it, it's not really as bad as it sounded, right? So how many of you know that as I tidy up tonight, I'm going to be putting some of these away, and some of them are probably going to end up in some strange places. Yeah, so Jody's saying, so tonight they're having chicken with their corn and they're saving the leftovers in mason jars. Good for you. I'm a great believer that mason jars are way better than plastic. So thank you all for your time. I just created some drama for myself with your help, but at least I know that I can check, did I do a box from the dining room this week? And I can say yes. So thank you for that help. Jody, I'd like you to push me this week on, did I do the one from the bedroom? Did I do the one from the studio? And did I do the one from the craft room? Right? Because they're all on my list. So remember, drama is what we make it. If we stop it coming in, we control it. If we control it, we get to be happier. Have a super weekend as well, Kimmy. I keep forgetting your husband's name, and I do apologize, but do wish him well from us and hope that, that you get some good input as to how to deal with what's going on for him and to help him deal with it too. It must be difficult for him. And by the way, Kimmy, I have to say that, Yvonne's papa is also getting less and less tolerant of stuff. He's getting very snippy about things, but we know it's just, he's getting of an age where that's happening. And, we just have to sort of grin and bear it because he's doing his best and he doesn't really know that he's getting snippy and nasty. All right. So big hugs, everybody. Thank you so much for supporting everybody. And I'll try and keep in touch with Nana as well and make sure that we find out how Rick is doing. And I'll update you if she gives me permission. I always ask permission before I do that. So if she gives me permission, I will update everybody. Take care. We'll see you on Sunday. And Jody, on Sunday, I'm not quite sure how we do a Soul Sunday about drama. Maybe we don't. Maybe we do a totally different subject, because I don't think I would feel comfortable doing a Soul Sunday about drama. We've done enough about drama for 1 week, right? I choose not to have any more drama in my life this week. This is DearMamaSal saying thank you all so much for the input and for the care for one another. This is me saying bye-bye for now. See you soon. Expect. Yeah, okay, I'll see you soon.